Hey guys, let's talk about tonight's episode of Arrow. And it's the first episode back after the mid-season finale, and it was okay. I mean, Arrow went out with a bang on its mid-season finale. So this episode coming back was, it was good, but it wasn't like outstanding. And we basically moved forwards about 5 weeks since the big explosion and the lightning strike that happened, and we find out that Barry is in a coma and Felicity has gone to sort of sit bedside with him. So, a lot of this episode was Oliver being very snarky with Felicity, and by the end of the episode, you really get that he sees Diggle and Felicity as his family and as partners, and he knows that if she's not there, he is weakened as a team. And, he wants Felicity there because he strengthens her and his ability to do his job really well. So I thought that was a really good scene between the two of them. I mean, I know that people love to ship the two of them. I really see them as like he's like her big brother kind of thing. And, Barry, I actually think that she has a lot of chemistry with him. So if that continues to be the subplot thread that she can't wait for him to wake up and that he still really cares about her, that will be great because I don't really want to see Oliver with anybody really. And then I think that Felicity and him, like he said, work really great as a partnership, and there's no need to muddy those waters. Oliver seemed really like mad in this episode. Like anytime he was the Arrow, he seemed like, just mad and like wanting to find the man that was wearing the skeleton mask, which we all know was Sebastian Blood. And Sebastian Blood plays a big part in this episode because we're starting to find out more about his backstory. Now, the big reveal at the end that you can't trust Sebastian, but it's like, yeah, I think we knew that about 3 episodes ago. So the fact that, we find out he actually killed his father and he's put his mother in this crazy loony bin place so that she won't reveal this secret just is another thing on top of the fact that we've already seen what he's capable of doing and what he will do to take control of Starling City. And we all know that he's, this close to becoming the mayor. And now it looks like he's forming a partnership with Arrow, Oliver. And you're kind of like, dude, I don't know if that's the hand you should be shaking, really, because Sebastian is not a nice guy and he will continue to do things, obviously, not in the best interest of Starling City, and maybe not even in the best interest of Slade. So he seems like he will go rogue at any time. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. We saw some interesting stuff happen with Roy this episode. And obviously, we know that he got shot with the arrow through his calf. And that's healed up quite nicely because he ended up taking some of that serum that, we spend a lot of time trying to find on the island. So in this episode, we see Roy, he's trying to deflect all these things that are going on with him. Thea's like, oh my God, like, are you okay? I'm worried about you. And he's like, yeah, I'm fine, but you're the one person that, is helping me stay sane in all of this. And then, they start making out and like bottles drop on his head and he gets cut with some glass. And obviously, we know that that's not going to last very long because he seems to have the serum in his system, which is helping him heal mighty quickly. So all of a sudden, there's that, they all go to this event, where they're trying to make a stand in Starling City and they're not going to let this vigilante or whoever that is that's bombing the city, take control. And, this thing with a bunch of lights on it starts to fall over, and of course Roy goes out, jumps in front to save Thea's mom, and it lands on his back, and of course he starts to stand up with him. So clearly the superhuman is coming out in Roy, and Thea's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe, like, you saved my mom that way. Like, that is crazy what just happened. And he's all like, yeah, whatever, the adrenaline kicked in and it's all good. And then she looks down at his arm and clearly the cut is gone. There's no scar on his arm. And he's all like, yeah, I heal kind of quickly. It's like, really, Roy? Time to come up with another excuse. So he doesn't really know what's going on with him, obviously. And Thea is obviously, all these red lights are starting to go off in her head, alarm bells. So it'll be interesting to see how much longer this goes on without him telling anybody. So, we had some stuff going on with, just like Diggle, it was sort of a side character in this episode, which was fine. But again, he was working quite well with Oliver and the crew. And of course, we had Quentin having a couple scenes in this episode. He showed up kind of like halfway through the episode. So when I saw him, I was like, oh, okay, he's in it. And, he was doing some stuff with Oliver slash the Arrow. And of course, there's this scene where they're on the roof. And look, guys, I love this show as much as you do, but come on, like Quentin is literally standing like right in front of Oliver's face, and you're telling me that he doesn't know that it's Oliver. He says, "Oh, where'd you get the mask?" And it's like you can't tell that that is his face. Like, come on. I mean, these shows when they do that, it's just a little far fetched. But I had a good laugh at that. I was like, really, really. But anyway, so outside of that, we had some stuff going on with Laurel as well, and obviously she is questioning a lot who Sebastian Blood is and what he's all about because she doesn't really trust him, and rightfully so. So obviously, when at the end of the episode, she finds out that the woman who was in the psychiatric place hospital is not actually his aunt, but it's his mom. So, where is that going to lead in the next episode? We'll soon find out, I'm sure. So all in all, it was a good episode. I think that, for me personally, I enjoy the stuff that happens on the island a lot. So I want to see more of those scenes. And obviously we're seeing, Slade going through his transition right now. And, he's realizing that he's got all this strength and he's, he at one point he's choking Oliver and I don't even think he realizes what he's doing. And then, when he kind of snaps out of it, he's like looking at his hand and he's realizing like he's obviously gone too far. And, at the beginning of these flashbacks, they're burying Shadow, which, in my last review, I was like, maybe Shadow still lives because I really liked her, but clearly, no, it's not going to happen. So Oliver's, torn between whether he should tell Slade the truth that she's dead because of him and that he actually saved Sarah instead of her. And it's like, dude, you don't want to do that because like Sarah said, this serum does crazy things to you and it can trigger all these things and you don't know how he's going to react. And clearly Slade is off of his rocker right now. And so by the end of the episode, he takes the serum and he's off in the jungle somewhere running around with Dr. Ivo clearly trying to find him and the serum so that they can get it and, obviously make tons of superhuman people that will all be loyal to Dr. Ivo and probably make some good coin off of it too. So all in all, it was a good episode, but it wasn't, the last couple of episodes of Arrow have been like, wow, very good. This one was just, I think, getting us back into the groove of the show, giving us some new plot points to look forward to, and easing us back in slowly. But, obviously the show is still really a fan favorite for me. Like I'm definitely a fan, and we'll see what happens next week when it returns. So that has been my review of Arrow. Let me know what you thought. Leave a comment down below, subscribe, like all those things, and I will see you guys next week. Okay, bye.